Welcome to this week's Cooking with Connie. Well, this week is dedicated to those people that aren't really cooks. So I'm going to make something that's really simple using two different mixes from the Simple Mills brand, and we're going to make a nice delicious dessert called Brookie's. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the Simple Mills brownie mix and we're going to mix it up just like the box says. So I'm going to use, put my mix in here. And then I'm going to use a half a cup of oil or butter. And a lot of times I will use butter in it because I kind of like that richness that the butter gives. But today I've decided I'm just going to use avocado oil just for the difference in it. I need my... Didn't have my measuring cup ready. Okay, so we're going to do a half a cup of avocado oil. Now, I will tell you that I have made these Brookies for several people's birthday, and they always seem to get gone pretty quickly. So I think they go over real well. So we've got a half a cup of avocado oil. We're going to put 2 eggs. And then we're going to put 3 tablespoons of water. I'm just going to use, you really don't need to do anything but use a fork to get this all mixed up. We've got our oven preheating to 350 degrees because that's what we're going to bake it on. Now remember with the Simple Mills, these are gluten-free mixes. They don't use refined sugars. They use coconut sugar in here. So they've got some really good ingredients in them. Most of them don't have a lot of, there's not a lot on the ingredient list, so they're very, very paleo-friendly, gluten-free. So I'm going to spray my 9x30 or my 8x8 pan. I like to use an 8x8 pan with this recipe because I like that thicker brownie. You could do it in a 9x13 pan, but I think it works out better with the 8x8 on this particular recipe. So what I'm going to do, if you've never made Brookies before, the trick is you put the brownies in first. Then we're going to make up that cookie dough. And then we're going to just kind of put the cookie dough in there like in little gobs. So you're going to have your cookies and your brownies kind of intertwined together. So for those that like brownies and cookies, this is a great recipe. Some people do like a Brookie cupcake and they'll do like a layer of the brownies and a layer of the cookies, but this is a pretty easy way to go. And because I'm going to incorporate everything, I'm not even going to clean up this bowl. I'm just going to throw the next mix in it. So this is the chocolate chip cookie dough mix. And again, this would be another really simple thing to take to Easter that I think the kids would probably really enjoy it as well as the adults. I was telling Barb that I really like these cold after the fact because sometimes when they're warm, because of the almond flour, they don't necessarily get real firm, so I like them when they're cold. So with this one, we're going to do 1 egg. You could use milk in it too, 2 tablespoons of milk, but I'm going to use the egg in this. And then we're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And remember, when you're using vanilla, you want to use the pure extract. And then I'm going to also use 3 tablespoons of my avocado oil again. And avocado oil is a really good oil to use in baking because it doesn't really change the flavor of your baking, and it's a really healthy oil, and it has a really high heat tolerance, so it's not going to oxidize when it gets too hot or anything like that. So it's a good one to use. So avocado oil. Of course, I use olive oil, but I don't want to use olive oil in something sweet because I think it might probably give it a funky flavor if I did that. All right, again, and I'm just mixing this up with my fork. It doesn't even require a mixer. If I put butter in either one of these, I probably would have melted the butter before I did so that it incorporates a little bit better. So you kind of see here I've got the cookie dough consistency here. And what I'm going to do is just take it and kind of put a little bit in different spots on my brownie. So that way you have, in pretty much every bite, you're going to get some cookie and some brownie. This basically just took one bowl, a few simple ingredients. Like I said, this one's kind of dedicated to the people that aren't really bakers, but they want to make something that looks like it's been difficult to do, but it's pretty easy. So this is what the finished product looks like before we put it in the oven. And I'm going to probably bake that for about 25 minutes, but I'll let you know the total time, but usually about 25 minutes, and it'll be ready to go. And we'll get back with you and let it see what it looks like afterwards. All right, welcome back, guys. It took about 30 minutes to bake these, and that's about what you want them to look like. So they smell absolutely delicious. We're going to let them cool for a while before we cut them, so that way they kind of solidify. But one thing with your brownies, you don't want to overbake them. So make sure that you don't, leave them in there too long. I like mine kind of chewy, so these are going to be delicious, and like I said, they don't have the refined flours or the refined sugars, so much better option for your kids or your guests, but they're going to love the taste of them. So remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends, and till next week, make good choices.